In this video lecture, I'll discuss Runlevels, XWindows, and Localization. Enter service -- all and pipe this into less. And this will show you all of the services or daemon processes which are running on your system. Daemon processes are started automatically when the system starts and continue to run until you shut the system down. You can also enter initctl space list to see a list of processes that were started by init. You can also start daemon processes by entering sudo service and the name of the process, followed by start. Let's look at the boot directory. Enter cd/boot and ls. This directory has the files to boot the operating system. You can boot to one of several run levels. In order to view a run level, enter run level. This means that our previous run level was unknown and our current run level is level 5. That means that we're running in a multi-user graphical mode. You can switch to a single user mode by entering sudo init s for maintenance purposes, or you can switch to other multi-level user modes by entering sudo init 2, 3, 4, or 5. And you can also change run levels by entering telinit. Each run level has an associated runtime configuration directory. Run level 0 is shut down. You'll notice there's a K in front of the file names. This means to kill the process off. And the higher the number, the later the process is killed off. These are symbolic links to scripts. Run level 1 is single user mode. Run level 2, 3, 4, and 5 are multi-user modes. And you could change what processes start. The S that's in front of the processes at these run levels says start those daemons up. And again, those with a lower number after the S get started before those with a higher number. Run level 6 says reboot, and run level S, again, is single user mode, which is for maintenance, and only the main administrator account or root can log on. Change directories to rc0.d. Enter ls-l for a long listing. You'll see there are symbolic links which refer to scripts. And you know they're scripts because they're green and they're executables. The init that you see out there, that's another way to start or stop processes. For instance, if I wanted to start a new process, I could do sudo service apache2, or I could do sudo /etc/init.d apache2 start. If you enter the file command, you can see what type of data is in these files. And let's take a look at one of these scripts that starts the very secure FTP server daemon. And that's a file transfer protocol, which allows you to upload and download files from a remote system. You'll notice that in this script, there are conditional statements and there are looping structures as well. And this script is used to control the daemon process. Enter cd ... to go up to the etc directory. And let's look at the rc.local file. On some systems, the script may perform additional tasks. But on my Raspberry Pi, the script actually doesn't do anything, except to print out the IP address. Enter ls-x11. Recall that the XWindows system is how your X client, for instance, Firefox, accepts input from the keyboard and mouse, and that input is transferred to the underlying hardware by the X server. XSession.options is run when the Windows system X session is begun. It contains a set of flags that determine some of the behavior of the X session born shell script. For instance, the allow failsafe is an emergency X session that's invoked if there's a problem with the X session. The use SSH says that the SSH agent can be called if no other agent is previously started. The xinit RC is what starts XWindows. And then the X session script is called so that it runs. And XWindows can be started manually by entering Start X. I wouldn't recommend, however, entering Start X unless you get dropped down to a non-graphical mode where you only see the terminal. Then you can enter Start X to start XWindows. Entering Start X when you're already in the graphical mode can cause one of the X configuration files for the user account that you're logged onto to become corrupted. Enter more space etc/x11/xsession to view the script. Localization is a set of settings on the system that's specific to a particular region of the world. For instance, we have time localization, which basically has the time format that represents the month, day, hour, minute, and second, and the output of the date command. Enter cat /etc/time zone. To change the time zone, enter sudo time date ctl set-time zone, and I'll set this to America/New York inside of double quotes. And then let's enter cat/etc/time zone once again. Let's set the time using the time date ctl command to be July 11th, 2020 at 9:50 p.m. using 24-hour time. Now you'll notice on my Raspberry Pi it says automatic time synchronization is enabled, so I can't set the time manually. Enter time. Your output may be different from mine, since this should show the number of seconds since the epoch. And enter the date command. Enter sudo tz select. If you're in a different country or a different time zone than Eastern time, you can find your country, and I'll select the United States and the time zone region of Eastern time, and I'll enter 1. And yes, I do want to accept this time zone. There's also format localization, which basically specifies for different regions what formats used to represent their data. For instance, we'll use UTF-8, which is 4 8-byte bits to represent the characters. If I enter locale-ctl, that tells me what language I'm using. If I do locale-a, I see that information again, and I can set my locale by entering sudo locale-ctl set locale, and I can say United States English, and I'm using UTF-8 for the format. And this completes the lecture on Runlevels XWindows, and Localization.